Psalm 25, verses 12 through 14 says, "Who is the man who fears the Lord? He will instruct him in the way he should choose. His soul will abide in prosperity, and his descendants will inherit the land. The secret of the Lord is for those who fear him, and he will make them known his covenant." Well, if you're joining us in reading through this 6-month reading plan of the book of Psalms, today's reading is Psalm 25, 9 through 22, and I encourage you to read that passage. Well, verses 12 through 14 are tied together. David first asks the question in verse 12, who is the man that fears the Lord? And he responds to that question in verse 14 by stating the man who fears the Lord will know the secrets of the Lord. But what does that really mean in our day-to-day lives? Now, we tend to think of the word fear as meaning something that is scary. For some reason, taking the trash out at night to the curb really bothers me. I don't know what it really is, but it causes me to really get scared. I can remember from my youth, if I took the trash to the curb at night when it was very dark and there was no light, the hair on the back of my head would stand up, and I would always feel like somebody was around me or watching me. And that's not the biblical view of fear of God. Now, my grandfather was a sea captain. I only knew him when he was in his 70s and early 80s. He was born aboard ship in 1879, and his father also was a sea captain. He grew up in a very intense environment, and he personally was very cut and dry. He knew what was right and he knew what was wrong. And it was much better for you to do that which was right than to do something that was wrong. But because of his personality, he was also very kind and gentle. Now, I remember when he and grandmother would drive up the driveway to the house, and we would go out and see him. And we would run to the car, and he would get out of the passenger seat. And for some reason, I never knew him to drive. And he would ask then if we had a special penny. Well, because we knew he was coming, we would always have a penny in our pockets. He would ask to look at it, and we would hand it to him. And then he would comment that that certainly was a very special penny, and he would ask if he could purchase that penny from us. Well, of course, we would say yes, and he would give us a dollar bill for the penny. Now, I feared my grandfather, but not in the sense that I was scared of him, but in the sense that I reverenced him. I would think very long and hard about doing something that I knew that he would disagree with or disapprove of. And I knew that he would always be there to comfort me and to raise me up. This is exactly the way God is, and exactly how we should feel about him and respond to him. We know what he considers to be right and wrong. We know how we should act. But we also know that he is always there to be with us, and he's always there to comfort us. And in a sense, he asks for us to give him very little, and he blesses us more abundantly than we could have ever possibly guessed. And if you would like a PDF copy of this entire reading plan, please send an email to phineasjacobus@runningtohim.net.